Hey guys, Doubt here, continuing our barge journey. So I messed up and I recorded all of level 10 to 15 in one sitting. And then when I went to make a video for it, I realized that I had the gameplay audio muted in OBS. So we're just gonna skip to level 15. And we had a really good couple of games and a couple of not so great ones in between. We're in Apprentice 2 and I actually used my gold to get a half decent kit. This Regal Gambison isn't my favorite since it makes us slow, but it was the cheapest decent option I found, and the loose trousers slightly make up for the move speed difference. I also don't have much knowledge in this kit, but I'm hoping that between Lament of Languar, our constant buffs, Warsong, and Rapier Mastery, that we'll be able to string some decent games together, or at least survive enough to get a half decent set. Well, here's the games. And so with this spawn, we're pretty close to 2 centipedes. I wanted to at least get one, since my jewelry isn't great at all at this point. And there is another spawn right here too, to our southwest. We're just gonna make sure that's cleared out, or he's going upstairs before we start the centipede. So I'm just gonna make sure that I get Lament of Languar off, hit a couple of survivor bow shots, and then try to finish him with Shrieky weakness and our strong rapier. He is a barbarian and he's not wearing a chest, so when he screams he should take a bunch of damage, but he still has a lot of health, so we need to be a little careful. I did make one mistake, and when I used Shrieky weakness I walked back in. I wanted to make sure that it landed, but if I didn't do that I wouldn't have gotten hit and I probably still would have landed it. And now that we made sure this area is fairly clear, we're going to go to the centipede and try to get some loot. The only reason I swapped to this was for the +1 all. Other than that, it's pretty bad for us, but it's +1 all, so that's good. I would go to the other centipede here, but it's out of the zone, and I don't like running into the zone as it's closing. It's good to sort of counter rogue stealth, but if there's a rogue already in the zone waiting for you, or a ranger with trap set, or a plate fighter in the direction that you need to go, that's always typically bad. So I like to make the rotations a little early if possible. And we do hear someone above us, so we just need to know that we need to go a little more carefully, so we're not just running into someone. But of course, all of the mobs are still here, so we're just going to need to deal with them too. Just as a reference, I did hear the person hitting boxes, so I'm assuming he's in the room to my east, and that's why I didn't go in through that doorway and decided to go across the bridge here. I could have just ran in guns a-blazing and started a fight, but my thought process was that I didn't know who he was. All I know is that he was breaking boxes. If it was a plate fighter, I would probably have to run into the zone to kite him, and I would rather just make sure that I am getting into the zone, into a fairly safe place before I make any engagements. And I did make the rotation slow because I got hit by a few goblins. I wanted to make sure it was topped off. I am noob. So instead, I'm just going to make sure I go in here a little safely. I check for a ranged trap. I have my loot out in case I need to cast Lament of Languor, and I'm just going to make sure that it's a little bit safer as I go in here. I did notice that these boxes weren't broken. I have no idea where the person was that I heard breaking boxes. I assumed he was in this room because he was above me and it sort of sounded like this direction, but yeah, I don't know. And since that skeleton came up anyway, I decided to be greedy. I just like to loot the lion's head here, I don't know. The biggest brain lag every time I have to play Tetris in this game. And we do know that there is at least one other rogue in this game because we just saw him across the map here. We did hear footsteps, so that's why we just went and checked outside. At this point, I'm thinking, let's just open this escape portal so I do have an escape in case I need it. But I am going to stick around just a little bit to fill up my inventory and see if we can get that kill. And that spider just did the annoying thing and stepped on the pressure plate. So now we have a giant spider here. I want to kill that as fast as possible because if I'm fighting that while I'm fighting someone else and I get hit by the venom and I can't attack, that would be horrible. Because these death beetles aggroed on me, I assumed that he stealthed, and I really didn't want to be in a situation where I was having to fight death beetles and a rogue, and I didn't really know what his health bar was. I wanted his cape, so I wanted to kill him, but I just decided to leave because it seemed a little slightly too risky. After I left and saw that he was less than half health and probably just one hit, I was a little upset with myself that I did, but we got a good run in, so we'll take it. So when I get the spawn, I almost always grab the lion's head, and I've actually started to run south because it seems a little quicker to get into the zone most of the time, and there's less mobs in the way. Nice little 2 knowledge ring. These are really nice pants specifically for team play bard, so I'm definitely going to pick them up. And yeah, the reason I'm saying they're really good for team play bard is because they have 3 knowledge, so we have more memory capacity, so we can play more songs. And they also give resourcefulness. Resourcefulness actually gives persuasion in this game, and that's how we keep our buffs on other people more. Will affects how long our buffs affect us. Resourcefulness is how long our buffs affect other people. Right here, I'm thinking that I want to kill the centipede, so I'm just giving a quick check to see if I hear or see anyone. I don't, so I keep going. These pants are also really great for us. These are much better for solo bard. Remember that will increases how long your buffs last on you, and they have 2 fairly high double fizz rolls, so I'm definitely going to pocket these for later on. And right here I'm checking again before I do the centipede, and we do see a plate fighter. My thought process here is that I don't want to push him because I don't want to put myself in a really weird spot. If he decides he wants to come after me, that's great. I'll just run back through all the doors that I already opened, and we'll have a decent amount of kiting room. But I don't want to push toward him and be stuck between him and the rock wall traps, because that could go really bad really quickly, especially pulling all of the mummies and the centipede. We did see him leave through the doorway, so I'm just gonna take a little bit more time and double check that he's not actually coming this way before I do anything else too crazy. And this is another pretty decent necklace for us. It gives us dexterity, which increases how quickly we play our songs. And it also gives us physical power, which is always good because it's more damage. And this is me playing very badly against mobs again. And right here, I'm actually honestly getting a little bit scared. I do know there's another plate fighter, and the room that I have to go into has a lot of corners to hide behind. If I get too close, I'm gonna get sprinted on and just die. So I need to play this a little bit safer. And again, we're going to run in with our loot with Lament of Langor ready. But I also see a ranger there, and he's not paying attention to me, so I'm going to run up and try to hit him and see if we can get a quick kill before he can get into his portal. Sadly, I didn't use Shrieky weakness because I didn't want him to know that I was there. It didn't seem like he could hear my footsteps for some reason. I hit him twice. I probably only needed to hit him one more time, but we didn't get it off. There is an open escape portal here, so we are just going to take our time to loot a couple more things, see if we can get any other good sellables, and then get out. All right, and other than showing our loot, this is the end of the video. Thank you so much for coming and watching. I do appreciate each and every one of you. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please just leave a comment. If you enjoyed the content, please give me a like or subscribe. I do appreciate every single one of you. I know I say it every video, but I really mean it. And I hope that y'all have a great day. Peace.